Greetings, Queen Anne Christian Church community and Welcome Table Christian Church community. Rebecca and I are going to be doing these brief reflections on Kathy's reflections on Advent, which she writes about in her book, A Weary World, which some of you might be following along with. We are in the second week of Advent. It is Monday, and the theme this week is practicing honesty. And as Kathy mentions, practicing honesty can be really hard. And Monday, today, she talks about anger and being honest about our anger and things we are angry at. And many of us don't like anger, but if we see in the biblical narrative that anger is often used, it's a righteous response to injustice. It tells us something about how we are feeling. So indeed, part of practicing honesty is recognizing our anger, asking why that anger is there, and what does it mean to respond in a gospel-y way with that anger.
Yeah, so our question for today is just, what are you angry about? And personally, I'm angry about people who haven't been careful or mindful with COVID, particularly with politicians who have, I've seen so many people who are not being careful because they genuinely don't believe they need to be careful. And, the result for me is the Canadian border is closed, and I don't get to see my brother and sister-in-law for Christmas. And in fact, it will likely be a full year of not seeing them, full year of this kid growing up, not knowing them. Liv isn't able to get her therapy, so many things. And I have a lot of anger at people not being careful in a way that would allow us to open some things up. And trying to listen to that anger as a signal and wonder how that can contribute to gospel things as opposed to more likely just rants on Facebook. But honoring that anger as just what it is. What are you angry about?
There's so much to be angry about right now, but I know every week I see neighbors experiencing extreme poverty and mental illness and struggling with substance use, and I'm just angry at so many people who seem not to care about this. How little poverty is discussed in political conversations compared to other things. And it's easy to see gross injustices and just feel this burning anger, which in my case drives me to ask, what can I do about these things? How can I advocate for better policies, better engagement with people who are in poverty?
What are you all angry about?
We invite you to sit with that question, not just your gut reaction, but what's sitting below that? What is the source of that anger? Is there a righteousness there? Is there something you're angry about that shouldn't be that way? Or something else going on? Because the more we're able to sit with our anger, reflect on what is causing it, the more we not only can understand ourselves, the more we can better be bearers of the good news of God.